Hello guys. My project topic is voice credibility of earnings call and earnings management. So basically, I want to investigate on the company's earnings conference call to see whether the CEO or CFO who sounds less credible is more likely to manipulate earnings. Um, in order to construct the voice-based credibility, we need a lie detector to process the audio samples automatically. So the whether we could measure the audio credibility of Orange conference call depends on the reliability of the lie detectors we use. History of lie detectors, four types of lie detectors have been widely investigated by researchers. They are psychological stress evaluator, which we call PSE, computerized voice stress analyzer, which we call CVSA, layer voice analyzer, which is called LVA, and those lie detectors based on machine learning techniques. The earliest voice-based lie detector product is PSE, which is based on the technology of voice stress analysis. Theoretically, if an individual is under stress, their voice tract muscles are likely to tighten up, which makes the energy of their voice signal become abrupt when they start and finish talking and has less variation while they are talking. So PSE was designed to detect subaudible and involuntary frequency modulation that are superimposed on audible voice frequencies when people are under stress. However, many researchers have shown that PSE is not reliable. These researchers I listed here have all designed some kind of experiment, making people tell lies or truth and measuring the effectiveness of PSE like detectors. Further descriptions of these experiments will be written in my paper, but I'm just going to say that the results of these experiments did not support the effectiveness of PSE. So this lie detector is without. The second lie detector, CVSA, is an improvement of PSE. They have similar technology, but CVSA not only can detect the subaudible changes in frequency modulation, but also can detect audio modulation when people are telling lies. However, the investigation on this product suggested that CVSA cannot have an accuracy greater than chance level. So we have to look for some other lie detectors that is more accurate. Layer voice analyzer is a very popular voice processing technique in the field of voice identification. The advertisement of this product says that the LVA device relies on the voice frequency analysis involving the application of 8,000 mathematical algorithms to 129 voice frequencies that are affected by physiological and psychological body reactions to the stress. Researchers said that LVA technique is like a black box, which means you really know what's happening inside since it's too complicated. Although LVA is a good technique of voice processing, it is proved not to have an accuracy greater than chance level on the lie detection. So the only lie detector left would be machine learning based lie detectors, which is what I will use in my research. The machine learning based lie detectors are composed of two parts. The first part is the technique for feature extraction. Given a voice sample, you cannot input it directly into a machine learning model. You have to extract certain features like fundamental frequencies, tremors, voice density, and so on. In my research, I'm going to use the most common voice feature extraction technique, the male frequency substrate coefficients, which is called MFCC. The second part is classification, namely to identify whether the voice sample is truth or not. This part is usually conducted by, like SVM or neural networks. Sometimes researchers will use two machine learning approach, one as classifier, the other for pre-processing features before they get into the classifiers. But in my research, I'm only going to use one machine learning model for simplicity. The accuracy of lie detection based on machine learning is generally above 70%, and sometimes can reach a very high accuracy level. So The independent variable in my research is basically the credibility of the earnings conference call given by machine learning based by Detector. The dependent variable will be the measure for earnings management. This slide because we don't have enough time to go through all the measures, but basically I'm going to choose the most popular measures so far, which are discretionary accruals and earnings distribution. For the accrual method, among all the accrual methods I listed here, I'm going to use performance matching model proposed by Vasarhelyi et al. In 2005, which is one of the most popular accruals measures so far. It regresses total accruals on several explanatory variables, which constitute the non-discretionary part of total accruals. So the error term would be the discretionary part of the total accruals, which is exactly what we need. The independent variables are meant to capture the element of non-discretionary accruals, except for the inverse term of asset, which is put in here to standardizing model for scale. The change of scales will cause some operational change of scales will cause some operational expense, which will be part of the non-discretionary accruals. And size of the PP&E will cause depreciation accrual, which is also part of the non-discretionary accruals. And the ROA term is just a control for organizational performance. For the earning distribution method, among all the approaches, I'm going to introduce a measure proposed by DeGeorge et al. In 1999. According to their studies, firms are managing earnings based on three principles. First, if the firm has a small loss in real earnings, they tend to manage the accounting-based earnings up a little bit to cross a zero threshold. Second, if the firm's earnings is a little bit behind the earnings of the last year, they tend to manage it up to beat the last year's earnings. Earnings is a little less than the analyst forecast. They are likely to manage it up to meet analyst expectations. Given these assumptions, if a firm is not managing these earnings, the distribution of these earnings will be very smooth. However, if a firm does manage its earnings, the distribution will have discontinuity on the three thresholds I just mentioned. So to test earnings management, we will construct statistics to test discontinuity on the three thresholds. Talk about the research design. The first step is to construct a dummy for the audio credibility. I'm going to train the machine learning model to serve as a lie detector. The training data comes from Regime Lab lie detection database, which contains false and true declaration recorded indoors and outdoors. The feature extraction model is MFCC, which is used in automatic speech processing. The extracted feature will be input to a neural network so that the neural network will classify whether the voice sample is truth or not. After the model is trained, I will apply it to the earnings conference call. Specifically, I will only use the Q&A session where the CEO or CFO will respond off the cuff. Researchers demonstrate that CEO or CFO's emotion will be more likely to fluctuate during the Q&A session because they cannot prepare a script. The earnings conference call can be downloaded from Thomson Reuters. Based on the two approaches to measure earnings management, I'm going to conduct two experiments to investigate the relationship between the voice credibility and the earnings management. The first experiment is simply using the credibility dummy variable as independent variable, and the discretionary accrual as dependent variable. The regression is on panel data, where I stands for each firm and T stands for each quarter. The second experiment will be a little bit more complex. The regression is on cross-sectional data, not panel data. First, we need to construct the measure for earnings management. For each firm, I'm going to construct three tau statistics to test discontinuity on the three thresholds, respectively. If on any of the thresholds, the orange distribution has a significant discontinuity, then the dummy for discontinuity will be 1 and 0 otherwise. Also, for each firm, I'm gonna average out the credibility dummies over time. So the credibility variable here is a number between 0 and 1. Note that for each firm, the data included will be limited to a time span when a certain CEO-CFO pair is in charge. If a CEO or a CFO is replaced, then I will regard the data after that as for another firm. Thank you.
I don't understand very well these credibility tests like lie detectors and etc. I never seen a study of this nature. I'm curious if you continue this, what you get out of it. Seems to be well designed. Seems to be interesting. I always felt that these lie detector things were really very ad hoc and the reliability is very low. Let's see what happens.
Professor, do you think it's a meaningful project that is worth doing, or?
Interesting idea.
Okay.
Abby?
So the credibility that you want to measure, is it based on the transcripts of the conference call?
Not transcript. Oh yeah. It's not based on the text. It's based on the voice.
Yeah, on the audio. I see. Yeah.
Yes.
But actually, I think this is actually there are some research looking at the bio characteristic of like managers or other like person in management to see what these characteristics will like flow into the like become signals of the fraud identification. So I think if you link well to those streams of literature,
Kevin has a study like that. He has the literature there. I think I mentioned to Dong that before.
Yeah, I've seen a study like that. It's just another type of that kind of study.
Yeah, and so if you want to like continue with this, I guess that you can like control also for the textual information, right? Because you want to illustrate audio information can deliver more information compared to the textual information. So maybe you can control that. But I guess, yeah. Well,